Alright guys, so you should have your cell division document. You should have a copy of that made, and you should have the Gizmo cell division launched and open. Please make sure you are logged in, otherwise it'll kick you out after a few minutes, and that won't be good. So we have our cell division simulation and our document. I have the first couple questions of the document, the prior knowledge questions filled out for you, so you can just skip over those and then jump to the Gizmo warm-up. So how this is set up, you guys have this started, and it tells you the directions. So it wants you to have the cell length at 12 hours, and then you're going to click play and then observe and kind of see what's going on and what's happening. So it is already set to 12 for you, so all you have to do is click play. And you're going to see on this left side that the cells are going to start to move and split and go through this process of cell division. As you play, it'll get faster and faster until a little heading pops up and says that the maximum number of cells shown has been reached. So then you're going to click pause and go from there. Okay, so just looking at this, you're going to then answer the question, do they all look the same? And then moving on to question 2, they are in the process of mitosis or cytokinesis, and then cells that aren't dividing are just in interphase. So then it says to check the magnify box and move the cursor over the cells. So this magnify box down at the bottom, and then we can move our cursor here over the cells and see how they are different and how they change. Okay, so you're going to do that and count which ones are in the process of dividing. So if they're just this little like blue blob with the squiggles in it, that's considered interphase, so that's not dividing. Any other stage is considered dividing. Okay, then for part B, you're going to select the bar chart here at the top, and then click on show numerical values, and it's going to show you how many cells are actually in each stage. So that'll help you answer the next couple of questions. Then we're ready to move on to activity A. So you're going to click this reset button down at the bottom. You're going to click back to this description tab, and then you're going to click the little right arrow here until you reach interphase. Okay. Your magnify should already be on, and you can keep it at the 12 hours. So for this first one, observing, you're going to click play, make observations, and write your answers. Then when you get to this summary chart, I already have this pictures in there for you for the sketch, so you don't have to worry about that. And then interphase is already done to show you just what a summary looks like. So as you can see, mine's really short. It just tells you the key points of what happens in interphase, whereas the information on the Gizmo simulation explains a lot more and gives you more details. You are more than welcome to add more details to that summary if you want. But what you're going to do is you're going to click through these arrows and summarize each stage as it goes through. Okay? So once you have that filled out, then there are a few questions to answer in this analyze, and you're going to use that summary chart you just filled out. And you can also go back through each stage here on the Gizmo to give you some more information. Once you have those questions filled out, then we're moving on to activity B. So again, if you need to, you're going to click reset, and then you're going to jump up here and click the table tab. This time we're going to move our cycle length down to 10 hours here. And then we're going to click play again and pause when that maximum number has been reached. So we'll click play. It'll go through the division process again. This time we're going to record some data for how many cells are specifically in each of those phases and do some comparison to see how long those phases actually last. So right now, my maximum number has been reached, so I'm going to click this record data button. And as you can see, it shows me a time, which doesn't matter, but then it shows me a specific number for each phase. And that's what matters to us. So how this will work, your trial 1 would be that first trial. And you'll click on that, and then you would type in 82 for interphase, 10 for prophase, 4 for metaphase, 2 for anaphase and telophase, and then there's 0 in cytokinesis. So that gives us our recording for that first trial. What we would do then is click reset and click play again. It's going to continue to go through the process, and we're going to continue to do that for each trial. Once we have all of those, you're then going to average it out. So you're going to add up your 4 trials and then divide by however many trials you did, and that gives you your average. Then you're going to answer a couple questions about which phase is the longest, which phase is the shortest, explain. And then when we get to this calculate part, this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky. So I'm going to walk you through this a little bit more so you understand what we need to do. So I'm going to pretend here that I have my averages all figured out. So I'm going to say that there's 83 for interphase, there were 9 in prophase, 2 in metaphase. My average ended up being 1.5 for anaphase, 2 for telophase, and 2.5 for cytokinesis, okay? So let's say those are my averages. Now to calculate specifically how long this takes, or how long each stage takes in my process here, I'm going to take my number, or my average here, 83, and I'm going to put it into a decimal. So it's going to be 0.83. So I'm going to move that decimal over, and I'm going to multiply that by 10, because that's how many hours we stated that our cycle length was for. So once I take my 0.83 times 10, that gives me 8.3 hours. And what I want you guys to do to find the specific, so you know like how long, in parentheses, we're going to put, we know that's 8 hours, because it says 8.3, but then I want to know how many minutes that 0.3 is. So an easy way to do this, I opened another tab and I just typed in hours to minute calculator. So I'm just going to put in 0.3 hours, and that tells me that it's 18 minutes. So I'm going to go back over to my table and type in 18 minutes. So that first phase, interphase, took 8 hours and 18 minutes to work through. Then if I go back to my average, and I have an average of 9 cells in prophase, that is going to be 0.09 times 10, which gives me 0.9 hours. So again, I'm going to jump over to my calculator here and change it to 0.9, which gives me 54 minutes. Okay? So you're going to do that for the rest of them. If you have these decimals, you again, for that decimal, like for anaphase, it would just be 0.015 times 10, which will equal 0.15 hours. If I go to my calculator then, I put 0.15, and that gives me 9 minutes. Okay, so you're going to work through and calculate the rest of that for whatever your averages are, and then you may have this extension option. So this is something else that's required if it's on your document. And what you're going to do, you'll go back to our cell division simulation. This time you're clicking on the graph, and we're moving our cycle length down to 5 hours. And then you're just working through. So the directions here, I left a box here for you to add a screenshot of what your graph will look like. You'll play this new simulation, and as you can see, the graph is going to start to move as you play through it, and it's going to go faster and faster. And then when our maximum number is reached, we will pause. And if you scroll the graph over, you can see how it changes. Okay, so based on that graph, you'll take a screenshot. You'll enter your screenshot into the box, and then you will finish up answering those last few questions. If you guys have any questions throughout this, please email me. Otherwise, if you've watched this whole video, you should be able to go back and pause if you need to for explanation. Please just remember you can start this today, and then we're finishing it up tomorrow. But we are doing some other assignments tomorrow as well, so please make sure you're working. Have a good day.